everyone, and welcome to the Health Minute. I'm your host, Delta Dawn. Today we have a very special show about meningitis. Our first guest today is expert Healthy Harry. He's going to explain to us the different types of meningitis. Welcome, Harry.
Hello everyone, there's are two different kinds of meningitis, bacterial and viral meningitis. Bacterial meningitis, between 1,400 to 3,000 people get this disease each year and 1 out of 10 die from it. Bacterial meningitis disease can affect people of any age, but adolescents and young adults accounts for nearly 30% of the disease. Bacterial meningitis is inflammation of the spinal column. It's a medical emergency. Risk factor includes people with lower immune system, alcoholism, diabetes, abdominal surgery, and head injury. Most common form is viral meningitis. This is most common in the late summer and the early fall. There are 25,000 to 50,000 hospitalizations each year.
That many?
The group who are at the high risk are infants under 12 months and adolescents older than 12 years old.
Thank you, Healthy Harry, for coming. That was a lot of information, and I'm sure our guests are completely blown away.
It's my pleasure.
Our research team was interested to see how many people out there knew what meningitis was, where it came from, and just general knowledge. So we sent Sally on the street for a little Q&A to see what she could come up with.
Hi, can you please tell me what meningitis is?
Honestly, I don't really know.
Like a respiratory disease?
Isn't that a disease by the teeth or something?
Actually, I never heard of it.
I have heard of meningitis. It's some type of disease. I'm not exactly sure what.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Are you aware that there's a vaccine, and do you know where you can get it?
No.
Maybe the dentist place.
Like CVS Pharmacy or something like that, or your local doctor?
Walgreens. Yes, I was aware that there was a vaccine.
I would just go to the doctors.
And do you know what the symptoms of meningitis are, and can you describe them?
I do not.
It's contagious, really contagious. That's what I know about it.
To be exact, no.
Nope.
Bad breath?
Some kind of like spots on your back of your throat, something like that.
And you heard it. That's what Delta College students had to say about meningitis.
Thank you, Sally on the street. Wow, I'm so surprised at how many people didn't know anything about meningitis. That's going to bring us to our next guest, Molly Meningitis. Thank you, Molly Meningitis, for joining us. What do you have for us today?
Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the symptoms of meningitis. These symptoms will include nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, diarrhea, flu-like symptoms, sensitivity to light, severe aches and pains in the muscles and joints, as well as rash, and mental changes that can lead to seizures, shock, and coma.
That's pretty serious.
Definitely. One of the major telltale signs is you won't be able to bend your neck.
At all?
Such a stiff neck that leaning forward or turning your head to the side or that side is going to be so painful that you
like
won't be
headache
able to.
painful or just like excruciating? So if I call my doctor and I say I can't bend my neck, they're definitely going to want to see me.
Exactly. If you feel any of these symptoms, it's really important that you
call your doctor.
She knows it. Call your doctor or go to the emergency department right away.
Perfect. Thank you, Molly Meningitis, for joining us today. It's really good to know our signs and symptoms so we can call the doctor or have a loved one call the doctor in the case of an emergency.
You're welcome. I was happy to be here.
That also brings us to a story that we have about a beloved member of our Stockton community. His name was Scott Barbieri. He was just 18 years old when he fell victim to meningitis. This happened in June 8th last year. Scott was a business major and a general manager at Krispy Kreme donut shop. He loved kids, and he also volunteered his time at the Walton Special Center for Children. He is going to be greatly missed in our community. Our last guest today is Patty Preventable. She's here to let us know what we can do to prevent something like this from happening to our loved ones. Welcome, Patty.
Hi.
What are you going to tell us today and the audience on how we can prevent something like this from happening?
Well, the best way to prevent this disease is with vaccinations. It is important that you know who is supposed to get it and when they are supposed to get it. There are 2 types of vaccinations. One is known as MCV4, and it is recommended for people under 55 years old. For anybody over the age of 55, they will receive a different vaccine. Both prevent the 4 different types of meningococcal disease.
So is there a time frame as to when we get this, our little kids, just so parents out there know how to vaccinate our kids properly? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
It is recommended that adolescents get their first vaccination at 11 or 12 and a booster shot at 16. Some of the other people that should get the vaccination are college freshmen living in dorms, people who work in labs and are exposed to the bacteria, military recruits, anybody traveling to a place that commonly battles meningitis, anybody with a damaged spleen, and anybody who might have been exposed to meningitis during an outbreak. It is important to discuss these vaccine options with your doctor to see what he recommends.
So, where can we get more information? What vaccines? How? Is it a health clinic? Do we go to our doctor? What's the story?
There's a wealth of information on the Center for Disease Control website. The Center for Disease Control is a government agency in charge of controlling infectious disease.
The CDC, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
You can access their website at www.cdc.gov. They can offer you a lot of information regarding vaccination information. You can also visit many of your local clinics to get the vaccination.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today. You gave us a lot of good information. Between you and our other guests, I'm sure we are much more educated on meningitis and what to do to prevent it. Until next time, I'm Delta Dawn, and this is the Health Minute.